Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of the United Gamedom podcast. This is Darren, aka Dow, and this is a special episode because we are going to talk nothing but Final Fantasy XIV. That is Final Fantasy XIV Online, not the original Final Fantasy XIV that came out in 2010. We're talking all about the Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn version that came out in 2013. We'll be talking about the expansions, we'll be talking about all our adventures and stuff. And with me is a fellow aficionado of Final Fantasy XIV. It's his first time on the United Gamedom podcast. He's a good friend of mine online, and he's the only other person that I know, until very recently actually, that has played Final Fantasy XIV, and that is Eduardo. Hello, Eduardo. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey, hi, thank you for having me. nice coming aboard, I guess.
Yes, thank you very much for joining me. Eduardo has been a good friend of mine online for quite some time now, and he's from Brazil, so he is. And he's basically, how long have you been playing Final Fantasy XIV?
Oh, I think for about 2 years now, since the original content, the original A Realm Reborn content. And then I moved on to Heaven's Sword after a little bit, and then the new content right now after I took a big hiatus after Heaven's Sword, and I came back to play Stormblood. So here I am.
Yeah, and you have got the PlayStation 4 version now, haven't you?
Yeah, I messed up because I remember buying the PS3 version, but I only started playing after I got the PS4, so I had to do the migration version. There was a promotion, yeah. I guess, and I sort of messed up because I got a free key for the PC version, but then I didn't get the Steam version. I got the normal PC version through Square Enix, so I can't get the Steam version now. So I have to play on PS4.
Yeah, that's a shame though.
They wouldn't let me remove it from my account for whatever reason, so I have to play on PS4 now.
Yeah, you probably would rather play it on the PC if you were given the choice now, would you?
Oh, for sure, yeah. Must look much better on PC.
Yeah, it definitely does though, but like I say, I got the game when it first came out, so I did back in 2013. I played the beta, because I had no interest in playing it whatsoever beforehand. It's like, I have no interest in playing this game. Then I seen the beta. I was like, I'm going to try this out and give it a shot and see. Like, did you ever play the original Final Fantasy XIV?
No, I haven't. But I have a friend, the guy who brought me to Final Fantasy XIV. That's the guy who really played it since the very first game. So he used to record podcasts, and he recorded one describing his experience, and that sounded awful. The first one. Had to do the jobs and the actual professions, and that sounded awful. I don't even remember the details, but I just remember being put off right away. For the original version, for the one that got scrapped.
Yeah, the thing is, because I played Final Fantasy XI, I got the Xbox 360 version.
Oh,
Final Fantasy XI is actually the very first MMO I ever played as well.
I heard that one is really hard.
Yeah, like I played a 4-bit, and it's like I was enjoying it at first, but then I realized, oh wait, basically if you want to progress beyond a certain point, you really need to party up with people. It's not like as bad.
Oh,
it was very bad back then, whereas now we'll talk about it is like all you really need when you party up is like to do the dungeons and the trials and that there in this one. But even if to fight certain like enemies, you really need to party up with a few people, and because it was really that hard. And also the crap thing about it was, I leveled up. I might get killed by an enemy now.
You leveled down. Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Yeah,
that sounds ridiculous.
that was a really bad thing about it as well. And also remember the whole thing that it took absolute ages because hey, you install the game now, but then you log into the Play Online service and then you had to download all the patches, and that took forever to download on the Xbox 360. Because this is back then I didn't have like a good PC or like a laptop at the time to actually play the game, so that's the
and you had to subscribe in order to be able to get the patches, so you lost a day or two from your subscription just downloading stuff, right?
Yeah.
Just like Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah, that's the one thing I do not like about the subscription service. Is like, hey, you can do it with another ones. Hey, you can download all the updates for WoW and stuff like that, but if you want to download the patch updates for Final Fantasy 14, too bad, you have to subscribe first then do it.
That's terrible. Yeah, that's a problem. That's what's keeping Derek from playing, right? He's been having issues downloading it, right?
Yeah, well, actually, I'll talk about it later on, but he actually started playing it there recently, so he did. Like, he actually got because he got his friend to come over and log into his
That's
account,
ridiculous.
and he downloaded the patches through his account then.
But he said he got banned, right?
And he got his friend got banned or something, but then he logged in again, and it seemed all right then all of a sudden. But that was the thing. Like, I actually gifted Derek the Steam version.
Oh, cool!
Back last holiday, the Steam holiday sale over Christmas. But the problem is as well, one, because I'm from Europe, I basically gifted him the European version.
Oh,
I didn't know that was going to be the case. I thought it would have switched over to the North American.
Oh,
version.
they don't have the split servers then, like Blizzard.
No, yeah, it's basically I had to if he wanted to get that, he had to get that game himself now. So and then it's like, and then I got a refund. Then I think he bought it himself. He bought it on Heavensward, I believe. But then he basically said, "Oh, I'm having all sorts of these problems where the game installed, but then he starts downloading the update, and all of a sudden just stops." And he was like, he had to go through all sorts of things. Oh, we're going to try go through VPNs and stuff like that. And
that's terrible.
Didn't seem to work though, and like he said, he's not the only one. He's seen people he's looked online and seen that he's not the only one that had that problems. Like, I've never had that problem.
Nuts.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that problem?
No. I'm in the third world and everything's working.
Yeah, it's a strange indeed though. Like, I just never had that problem.
That's weird.
I was downloading an update and all of a sudden it's like, yep.
Maybe there's something to do with his internet provider, I guess.
Yeah, it could be something along those lines now. Like, I don't know. It could be that could be the case now.
But I'm glad he got it fixed now. But he said he got burned out by the game, so I guess he's not gonna play for a little while.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't think he's played for the last few days now. But he got up to he chose a Lancer / Dragoon character, and he got up to the 40s.
Oh, nice! Anyway. Wow,
so,
that's good progress.
Yeah, but it's pretty easy to level up nowadays, as opposed to what it was when it first came out.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. Well, maybe
because there's.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, because you have with the PvP, but you have to be level 30 to start on it.
Oh, I never done PvP.
You could do the PvP, get a bunch of experience of that there now. You do you go off the leave mates, the fates and multiple dungeon runs, and the challenge log.
Cool.
Where, or the hunting log as well. Yeah. When you go around and kill the different enemies for your particular class and that there. So it's it's pretty easy though, but. Back then, just get to back to the swing of things. As I say, I played the original Final Fantasy 14. I just got the beta because, I say, I'll play 11 and see what this is like. I played the beta, downloaded the beta Final Fantasy 14, played about 30 to 45 minutes. It's this is just a prettier version of 11, but it's just not for me. It just had a really bad interface though, and that's was one of the problems that people had when it came out. It's the interface and it was so unfriendly though.
But it wasn't the original team that did 11 that did 14 then?
No, I think it was the people that did 11 that did 14 as well. There was some of the people that worked on 11 worked on 14, that original team now, and they thought, oh, this is it worked in 11, so we're just gonna say, and it sure work on 14 as well. And then, like, I don't know if you watched No Clip, Danny O'Dwyer's
I have to watch that.
documentary.
Yeah, I have to get around to watching that.
Yeah, like it's very definitely recommend watching it though, because you basically like some of the original development through to the guys who worked on 11 and 14 go through the process and like go behind the difficulties of launching the original version of Final Fantasy 14 and saying like about the problems it had and stuff like that, and then how Yoshida-san had to come in and sort of he came in and scrapped the whole, like this new team came in, completely different, changed the game, and also like they had to do, the fact is, while they were working on the Realm Reborn version, they still had to provide content of this original version.
That's insane.
As well. So that was like, watching that, I was like, that's just well done how they had to do that now, and had to do it like within like
This
2 years, like 18 months to 2 years or something.
and they did within the confines of the story as well, right? There was a calamity, right? It's something to do with the
like that's
original version.
that's the thing as well. Like the end of the thing with the moon, a Dolomite coming in, and then that basically is it. That's the end of the original version, and that and then A Realm Reborn continues the events of that, which is pretty awesome in my opinion.
That's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I played the original version of that there. I hated it, so it did. It was just really lazy. I never got on my way to actually buy the full version because I didn't really like the beta, and seemed to be a lot of people from the reviews. It got pretty bad reviews overall, as far as I can remember. And then, so there's some people still hold on to it though, and I did like watching that documentary and watching the thing. It seemed to get better though with the certain content updates it had. It seemed to get better, and certain things it promised that came right and all that there, and like certain characters and that there you see in A Realm Reborn were introduced in, of course, in the original version. But I said I never got I never played it though. I never bought the original version. But then I said seeing A Realm Reborn was coming out, and then I seen the beta. And I was like, I'm going to try this out and see what it's like. And I downloaded the beta, and that was back then, like when I had a good PC. Not the one I have now, but like I had a good, decent PC to run it on. It's like, I'm just going to get the PC version now. And I downloaded, and back then I was using the controller to play it though. I don't use the controller anymore. I just use the mouse and keyboard. But I remember playing it with the controller. It's like, this is just so friendly.
Yeah.
Like it's just it works very well indeed. Like you wouldn't think an MMO would work with a controller, but it's just so friendly. Switching the different hotbars, the different hotbar selections with your.
No, it feels great. Yeah.
The shoulder button.
I love playing that way. I love playing that way.
Yeah.
Coming in from Warcraft, from Star Wars, from Lord of the Rings Online, this is the best playing one by far.
Yeah, like it's just very rare you see an MMO. Like the only other MMO that I played that had like a controller interface was Terror. Like I don't know if you ever played it.
No. No, this is the fourth MMO that I played. I played Warcraft, Star Wars, The Old Republic, which I like it very much, and Lord of the Rings. That's it.
Yeah, I've played them as well, and many more. Like, I've played a bunch of MMOs, but this is like, I'd like to say, like, this is my favorite one.
Oh yeah,
we'll get to that soon.
Same, yeah.
But I say I got the beta, downloaded the beta in July 2013, played a bit of it. I was like, I really like this. I'm actually going to end up getting the game then. And I seen it on Shop 2. This was like, it was very cheap. It was like 16 quid.
Wow, that's good.
So it was. That was for the original A Realm Reborn version. Bought it then, and I pretty much played it non-stop for like 2 months. Pretty much played it every day. Like I wasn't going to go like power leveling now. Just like going on my own pace now, taking it slow. But I pretty much played it non-stop for like 2 months, and I reached level 50. Did all the story content, and then once I got to the end game, that's kind of when it's like, yeah, I'm going to drop out now. That's where the because I'd say this is the first MMO that I ever maxed a character in as well.
Oh,
like I never did it in WoW.
Oh.
I never did it in Lord of the Rings or anything.
Oh,
like
Lord
that
of the
now.
Rings, it takes so long to level in that game. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And like I said, and
You didn't do
this is like
Bahamut?
okay.
You didn't do Bahamut, the last raids on the original content?
No, like I never did I never did the all of the binding
Yeah.
coils. Like I did a few of them like since then, but like I didn't do every single coil though. But like I did, like, but when I went back to it there, you know, a while later, like sort of a bit before Heavensward came out, I
Mm-hmm.
think it was, or like around the time Heavensward was coming out, I went through I said okay, I'm going to have to catch up with the story content now. I
Mm-hmm.
have to, and I did the three, first three 24 player raids
Those are
now.
really good. Those are really fun fights. I did most of them as well.
Yeah, those are probably they're some of my favorite aspects of the game. Those 24 player raids,
Yeah.
and I'm very much looking forward to the
Mm-hmm.
the ones in Stormblood now.
Same, yeah.
Um, but like I said, that's kind of how I got introduced to the game and how I played it though, and how I just fell in love with it though.
Mm-hmm.
So just let's just hear your story.
Well, that friend that I mentioned, he's used to be a GameSpot user like us.
Okay.
And his name is Alfred, and his login is the Red Mage. So you know the guy likes Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that name.
Yeah, oh yeah, you joined the guild that he was part of, that I'm part of in the game. You left since, right? You joined a new one, right?
Yeah, I was a part of a few others though, but I'm in one now, so yeah, which I'm very happy with. I really like the
Yeah,
free company with it.
yeah, that free company that you joined when you first switched servers. That was his friend FC, the free company, and he has a lot of friends there. So I used to play them with them right when I started. I got into a bunch of raids as well. I did all of the high end content as much as I could anyway, because I'm terrible at the game. It's very difficult on the raids. But yeah, I did the same thing as you. I played as on my own pace. I had a lot of fun. Maxed out a couple of classes. I did a healer. I started with an arcanist, and but I decided to do a scholar instead of a summoner, so it was more fun to play. Is summoner the base one, or is there arcanist for scholar? I think it's arcanist, right?
I think Arcanus is like the first class, and then it becomes a
Summoner,
summoner.
yeah, summoner and a scholar, yeah. Because you can split this. That's the only job where you can split in one of the two vertents,
Okay.
and you could play as the healer, which is a scholar, or the DPS, which is a summoner, and the summoner is very boring. So I decided to do the scholar. I played through most of the content as a scholar. Then when Heavensward hit the scene, I did the machinist, and it was a lot of fun. And there, I really enjoyed the game. Playing it with the controllers. It's much more intuitive than I ever had playing Warcraft, which is the MMO that I play the most of after Final Fantasy XIV. Um,
Yeah, that'd be the same way as me now.
yeah, and that time I have been having a really good time coming back, because I took like almost a year off the game after Heaven's Sword, and I finished doing all the content leading up to Stormblood. So I did the gaffer, right, the guy with the mask that led up to Stormblood, the guy who did the Alamigo, all the
Oh, the Griffin.
yeah, the Griffin, yeah, not the gaffer.
Yeah.
Gaffer's the other thing. Yeah, and I had a good time leading up to it and starting the new expansion. So now I'm back to the game. I'm gonna try to finish the quests, the expansion content, and maybe do more jobs. I don't know, maybe do the red mage like we talked, and finish the other ones that I did. But it takes so long. I hope I don't get burned out like I did before.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like when I got to 50 with my Black Mage now, back when it first came out, and that was the thing. It's like there wasn't like a whole lot of content back then, and it's like the only way to do is you had to like of course grind, and that is the course with like all MMOs. Once you get to the end game content, in order to sort of wait until like the next content update is, you have to sort of do grind stuff, like grind for the tombstones in this here to get the best gear.
Yeah.
And there's like very little. I think all there was really was like the first 5 turns of the binding of the Bahamut coils. I think that was all. And then once the content updates came, then they added the more of those ones, and then they added the different like the Crystal Tower and the World of Darkness and those different 24-player raids. Then
that's the point.
So, like,
that's the point in the game when it turns into the hamster wheel, where you have to keep going up item levels, and that's the part of the game that really burns me out, because having to get more gear. I understand having to level up, but getting more gear is annoying.
Yeah, like that's what the big fun for me is, like when you level up, like especially like leveling up a new class or leveling up your first class. Like just getting up that level, just getting a higher level, and then you say, "Oh, I reached max level."
Yeah, that's the best part.
Course, the grind phase begins, and it's like, "Oh, this is not fun anymore."
Yeah, no, doing the same dungeons every day, like keep doing the roulettes and stuff, and that's the sort of stuff that I don't like.
Yeah, like. That's the thing. That's why I kind of started on the second class, because it's like I didn't really have. I still need to grind a bit more and get some of my gear up to do like the Savage stuff for Omega, which is the new raid, like the like the new sort of 8-player raid. But like I said, just gone to the start of it, because I kind of want to do like I just want to do like a max up class for each role. Like I've got my DPS, which is my Black Mage. I want to level up attack now, which is my Paladin, and then once I've leveled that up now, I want to go to a healer class, whatever it may be, a mage or whatnot. Now,
do you have a preference for the class, for the healer, or
I'm not sure yet. I'll probably just look and see what's the best one now,
because they changed the classes so much now. They have all the classes have a meter now that you have to keep track of. I don't know when they introduced that.
No, I was introduced in Stormblood. That whole
that's
the meter thing.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
it's just a new thing. That was just a new thing they introduced in Stormblood. That whole meter. Each of the classes has a sort of little meter now. Whereas like the Black Mage one has this thing where you switch between the Umber Fire and Astral Ice and that there, and it has these little wee point thing. Like there's these 3 points at the top left that indicate like your fire. And then the other ones is like indicate your ice.
Yeah, they had it before, I think, right? With the Conjurer, right, I guess.
I'm not entirely sure. No, but that whole like the meter thing, like the wee duty gauge thing or whatever it is, that is basically showing up now. That's the first. They're all each different class has one of them now. Different kind of one for each class, which is pretty cool. Like that's the Black Mage one, and has this like once you hit and once you get to activate a knock-in, it has this little little ticker like time, like a little countdown timer, like it goes more fills up this meter in the bottom right corner. And then if you keep that knock-in up, and then it activates this thing, you can use this other spell. It's called Fire, which is like the big powerful spell.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a spell you get when you reach level 70 with a Black Mage. But the thing is, you have to keep a knock-in activated though, and the way you do that is like try not to run it out, and you have to sort of switch between, because like we timer as well, when in a certain mode, wherever you're in the ice, Astral Ice or Umber Fire, you have to sort of switch between them, so sort of keep your rotation, your TPS going, and that's how you sort of keep that file thing going, because you can't activate it otherwise. And then also you can't activate, like you can't use Fire 4, Blizzard 4 until you activate a knock-in as well, which a knock-in as well, you can sort of before Stormblood, a knock-in I think was you only had it for a certain amount of time, so you did, and then it just goes away, whereas you can have it constantly now, and sort of keep it so you can just keep it going forever and ever if you can. No, but once you, if you like, break the cycle, or if you like get the timer go out in one of your forms, then that's basically it. But then it's like it's not a big cooldown now. I think it's like 30 seconds for it to activate again now. So even if you last like 30 to 60 seconds and it's like, oh, it broke the cycle, I just think you just activate it again then, and do far forward out not now.
Yeah,
they
did something like that for the machinists as well. You have to have a temperature gauge for your gun now, so you have to keep check on it, because the hotter it gets, you do more damage. But if you hit the most highest point, you have to let it cool off, and you lose a lot of damage. It's fun to keep track of that. It's a little another layer to keep track of in your rotation. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's a lot more friendly now. I just definitely do like the fact that's on screen now. So just keep like an eye on. Though sometimes I do screw up though. It's like, oh crap, because I'm moving and trying to avoid an AOE attack on the boss or something now, and then I always break the cycle. But it's always very helpful to have it on screen now rather than before. It's like, okay, just basically try to look up online and see.
Yeah.
Like your little square icons at the top now and say, okay, I've got an Inoculum still here, but like it's just more friendly. It just shows on screen now, and I think they added that to make it more friendly to like newcomers and like as well, which I definitely is very thankful for.
Oh yeah, it feels much cool to do. Even if you mess up, it works out fine. I'm having a good time with the new mechanics, but I heard that the machinists got really toned down, because they used to be the top guys.
Yeah, I know a few people are not happy with some of the changes to the classes now. Some of them got pretty nerfed and not there.
But I feel pretty powerful, It takes a while, and you're not exactly a tank, so the mobs just tend to hit you really hard, and you have to try to kill them as fast as possible.
Yeah, definitely.
It's fun. It's still fun though.
Yeah, like I said, I started on the tank class or paladin a few weeks ago now, and like I like it though, but I do prefer being a DPS class, because all you're basically doing is, hey, just pull these enemies, just try and keep the aggro on yourself now, and make the enemies aggro on you, and try not to get them to aggro on anyone else and kill them now. It's like it's fine though, but I say I prefer just being a DPS character and just laying the hurt on them now.
Yeah, we should now that you're trying to level up, maybe after I finish the expansion we can try to team up, because I want to level my tank and my healer. We can try to switch out and see what happens. If you want.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
it should be fun.
Like do you have a tank character in the 40s?
I do. He's on level 53. He's a warrior. It's a warrior,
yeah. I'm a paladin, so I'm like level 47 at the moment though, so I'm just close to the 50 mark.
I think warriors are a little easier to play than paladins, I think, because they have a wide range of, they can cleave, so it's easier to keep track of enemies in front of you. So they can hit a bunch of them at once and keep their attention. So might be.
I just sort of went with paladin on the recommendation of my FC leader. He's a paladin, so he does, and he said that was the best tank class, and I was just like, oh well, I might as well just go with it and see how it is, and I don't mind it, but everyone has their preferences though. Like someone might say Warriors better, someone might say Dark Knight's better.
That's a solid pick. It's good. You'd be good doing that, I guess.
Yeah.
Just matters more if you like tanking, basically.
Yeah.
Which is not for everyone, I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's not for everyone though. Like it's fine at the moment, just doing like some of the earlier dungeons you gain. Like it's not that difficult doing the tank though. But like once again, if I want to try to do like the hard dungeons, and definitely do like some of the raids and that there, I'm gonna have to sort of improve my game then, because there's so many things you're gonna do. We have to do tank swaps and things like that, and then I'm gonna be like, okay, when do I swap? Because I'll have no idea what to do.
Yeah, those fights are really involved.
Yeah, and like it's not great though, especially like I'm trying to beat Laxmi, I don't have you haven't fought her yet now, have you?
In Stormblood.
No, I don't think you have. Now you just done Susano, haven't you?
Yes, Hazano. That's the only primal that I've done so far.
Yeah, you haven't. Yeah, you haven't done Lakshmi yet. That's the second primal you fight, and I'm trying to beat her on the extreme, and I'm having such a hard time because sometimes you're just not, like I know some people do get upset sometimes when you have a lousy party though, and like I'm trying to be a bit fair and try to be okay, but sometimes I do tend to get a bit annoyed as well, especially when I'm not making the mistakes and some other people are making the mistakes and are constantly making the same mistakes over and over again. Like, come on, you've died 3 times on the same attack. Can you not?
But is anyone pointing out that they're doing the making a mistake, or they don't just realize?
Yeah, like some people, like when some of the parties I'd be in though, like there's some people that'd be alright. So alright, they'll just be okay, like, screwed up or whatever. But there is people who'd be a bit annoyed, screwing up, and like, of course, it's like after like a couple of waves, you usually get like a rage quit. It's like, oh fuck this party, I'm out of here.
Yeah, like I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Oh well, if it's something that the person can realize that they're doing wrong, yeah, that's the problem. But there are some mechanics that are really tough to figure out the first time unless somebody tells you.
Yeah, especially like I've done, like I was doing the Susano, like the extreme version of it back like a couple of weeks, like not last week, the week before, with my FC company or my free company, and I kept screwing up myself. I was like, I don't know why. I just keep dying on the stupid same attack every time though. And then eventually I sort of learned the basics down. Okay, I know what to do now. I know when to avoid this attack. He does this attack before, like he does the Rising KO, whatever it's called, before he locks someone in a rock, the jail thing. Okay, I know when to avoid it now, so I can get it out of the way then. But then, like I've done that fight with another party. I've done the first Omega Savage raid with a party though, but I said I'm not a high level character, high enough item level to do the rest of them yet. So, but yeah, it's fun though. Like how so you start your your main cast is a machinist now, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that was of course I was introduced in Heaven's Ward now.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever. I think I might have unlocked it now, but I don't think I've ever tried it now.
It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a like a ranged DPS class, isn't it?
Yeah, it was really easy to figure him out because he only has like a few skills that they all proc one after the other, so it's easy to keep track of what to do. You know, there are 3 basic shots, and each shot procs to the next until you get to the third kind, which is the most powerful one. And then you have to reload the gun and get more powerful shots so they can proc actually. And then you have a little turret guy who you set on the field during each pull because it doesn't move, so you have to call the little turret every time. And there's 2 kind of turrets. There's one that it's ranged, and the other one is area of effect. It's pretty fun. It's easy to figure out. I was able to figure it out really quickly during the previous expansion, and now it's even easier because I have the muscle memory to do it. And even though there's a meter now, it's easy to keep track. And it's fun. You know, you can move around a lot, and there's not much to it in terms of complications, you know. There's not a whole lot of stuff to pay attention to, so I enjoy it a lot instead of having to keep track of a lot of meters and stuff.
Yeah, there's one thing I don't like about the mage class is basically I have to sort of be still for the most part and do spells. Like I can't move around. Like that's one of the things.
Lots of casting, though. Right?
Yeah, it's basically have to stand still and do casting and cooldowns and spell like the casting timers not there. It's like, okay, I can't like move around now and do these spells now, which like that's the one thing I don't like about the black mage though. But other than that, like I said, I love that class. Like I used to be in like older like RPGs and MMOs, like I always used to be like the sword and shield or like warrior or knight or whatever. But then like, after like I don't know what it was, I just started being like being in the magic classes then, and also I just chose that one to choose, and I chose that one to do in Final Fantasy 14. I've never looked back.
Yeah, I tried playing the Black Mage a little bit on Final Fantasy 14, but I didn't really click with it. Click with me. I didn't like the whole balancing thing of having to balance the fire and the ice. I thought it was a little bit not my cup of tea.
Yeah, but like it's gets a bit tricky though, but like you get used to it though anyway. Like you say, you have to switch between fire, and then once you want to sort of regenerate your MP, you just switch from like fire 3 to blizzard 3, and the cooldown, the spell speed's a bit faster then because of that there, and then your MP regenerates faster as well. Like that's the way you sort of keep your MP flowing as well, rather than like using ethers now and stuff like that. I was going to ask you, did you start the Heavensward content when it came out now, or were you like a bit behind?
No, I was there day one, because it started. The expansion was released right after E3 that year, so I actually bought the physical disc after the show and came back home and started playing right away.
Yeah, but were you at the Heavensward at the start of that story when it came out?
Yeah, I was already finished with all the previous content. I was ready to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, because that was the thing as well. Like, I wasn't though, was to say, because I came back after a while and I had to do the whole.
I remember
the quest.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole story, the whole quest between the end of thing and the start, and like the fact is, I got Heavensward. It's like, okay, I'm going to get to this here now. I'm going to try to get to Heavensward, and it took so long because it was like 100 quests.
Yeah, I remember that.
It took so long.
Yeah, you took like 3 months to get there. I remember because I was playing on and off when you were back.
Yeah, it just took so long, and by the time I got to the Heavensward content, I was burnt out then. It's like, okay, I'm just dropping off because I cannot play any more of this.
Yeah.
Because it just took so long as well, especially because some of the cutscenes, like I like the story in this game, I follow the cutscenes. I know some people just skip the cutscenes, like screw this, I just want to play it. Like I do like the story.
No, it's pretty great story, yeah. And leading up to Stormblood to Heavensward was pretty good.
Yeah, that's why, and some of those cutscenes leading up to Heavensward were pretty long as well, and that's the good thing as well. Like when it tells you, it's going to be quite a long time before you start playing again, it basically warns you.
Yeah,
there's going to be several cutscenes. Going to be
set some time aside.
Yeah, set some time aside. Yeah, and sometimes that could be 10 minutes. Sometimes it could be 20-30 minutes. But yeah, as I got to the point where I just got burnt out then, and then last year then, around I think September time, I jumped back in, and this is like I said, this is like a lot of the content updates were out then, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play through the main story now of Heavensward, and I did.
And it was great. It was worth it, right? Because the story for that is pretty fun, pretty good.
Yeah, the story is very good now in these games though. I definitely have to commend them for that there now. Like, I couldn't care less. Like when I was playing WoW and I was playing the other ones, I could not care less about the story.
Yeah, the Warcraft story, unless it's something regarding Arthas and the what's the name of the thing, the Lich King. Anything besides the Warcraft 3 story, I don't care about.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to go and do that raid on Warcraft and actually finish off the Warcraft 3 story. But everything besides that, yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, and also because the fact is a lot of that's not they have in this here they have voice cutscenes and that there, whereas in Warcraft it's like just go to this quest and activate it, go to this other quest and activate it though. Like I don't know if they have voice cutscenes now or anything like that along those lines. I think they might have, but
yeah,
it's been such a long
I haven't
time
played
since
it's been like 2 years since I played Warcraft. But the main difference, I think, it's because Final Fantasy it makes you play through everything in order to see the next expansion. So you have an understanding of what's going on at least. you should have, because you played through the whole thing. While in Warcraft you can just grind out on the dungeon and whatever, and then get to the level to start the new expansion, and you might even skip all the content from the previous one. But Final Fantasy makes you finish the whole thing before you start.
Yeah, you can't access certain dungeons until you get to that point in the story, which I like as well, or certain trials and that.
Yeah.
There, you have to sort of unlock them with a class first of all. Whereas I think in Warcraft it's like, hey, you got to this level now, you can access it.
Yeah, that's the main benefit. That's the main benefit from Final Fantasy, to play with just one character and do the different jobs in one character, because that character did everything. You finished everything on that guy. You don't have to create another one and do everything again. And that's the good thing and the annoying thing too, because if you want to start playing with a friend on another server, you have to do the whole thing all over again. And
that's the thing. I have to go through the whole story again.
Yeah.
Okay. I've already done the story. I already know what happens, so I can get through it a bit quicker then. But like I said, I can't do this dungeon now because I have to unlock it first through the story.
You can
and stuff like that.
You can unlock everything there. I think by paying a bunch of money to Square.
Yeah, they have those boost things. They have them for like each of the classes.
It's like a price. It's like the price of a full game or whatever. Screw that.
Yeah, like they have that there, and also have like the they have the story thing. You can jump up to the end of Heavensward, and so you're ready for the expansion. Also, like to level up your character up to level 60 as well. Which I won't do that though. I enjoy leveling up though.
That's good. Yeah, I'm good doing it only once. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't mind doing it whatsoever now. So you're currently playing at the moment. You're currently at level 66. You said?
I'm level 66. I just left the plains, which I think it's supposed to be a homage or a comparison to Mongolia, right? Which is a lot of the tribes and the Khans and whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's definitely going with a more Asian aesthetic of this expansion. Kugane is feudal, like old Japan sort of is, and the plains are pretty much like Mongolia and stuff.
And I'm gonna go back to China because it's that continent with a bunch of. There's a huge part that I haven't unlocked yet because it's behind a gate from the Empire, so I guess that's part of China, or I don't know what the heck it is. Supposed to be, but the Japanese part is pretty good. I really like the city, the new main city. It's really well made.
Kugane. Yeah.
And I think I'm gonna go back there, and then I think I'm halfway through. I'm not sure. Level 66.
You're probably.
I guess.
Oh yeah. So you're probably about midway to 2/3 through the story now. Anyway, like you have the Doma Castle dungeon. To still do, and you have a few solo duties as well, which are not that difficult though. So it should be an easy ride to 70.
Yeah, it's a little weird. The excuse that they took for moving on to a new continent is kind of weird. We want to fight a war on our end of the world, but then we're gonna fight them on the other side, so we can get them weaker, so we can beat them on our side. It's a little bit.
Yeah,
weird.
That is the thing. Yeah, and that's the weird thing as well. Like when you get to those first new areas in the expansions, like okay, there's half of this map I can't access yet.
Yeah.
It's like okay, I look at this fate. Oh, this is the one's level 61 or something, and then you scroll down, see another phase like that's level 68.
Because it's funny. Nice. It's funny because that map that has the half of it locked up. It's the only one that I unlocked flight on. That I did the whole ether currents. So I could fly, and I tried flying to finish the map, and there's a big wall on the way, I can't get in.
Yeah, that's the thing, you can't do that yet until you access it later on in the game though, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's one of my least favourite things in doing that, is going around trying to find them ether currents. You haven't gotten to the area yet though, but the last area in the expansion, the locks, is it's quite annoying to access them though, because you might find it. Oh, I see it there. It's up on that cliff, so I should find like maybe a certain little hill or something nearby. And then it's like, oh no, it's not. It's like you have to go way out of your way to access it, because it's like, okay, I have to go down here, I have to go left, I have to go right, I have to go up this hill, I have to go left. Oh, there it is now.
I remember you mentioning that a few weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's one in it though where it's up in this like in the edge of this little wee cliff, and the thing is, and then you say it, oh, should be nearby. No, you basically have to go all the way to the, you have to go a good bit to the right, and then up, and then left through these like tunnel areas, and then get there, and then you find it. Then it's like, that takes about 5-10 minutes.
Oh
it's
boy.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. I don't think I even finished all the areas in Heaven's Sword to get the flying, because it's so annoying.
All right, I've got every single.
Because
one,
the problem is that
Because-
some of them are locked behind some quests, so it's not just a matter of exploring. You have to do the quests, and some of the quests are locked
Yeah.
behind other quests.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Yeah, like usually the last quest, like usually each of them has one, or each of them areas has like a quest or two. I think for the main quest, one of the quests, usually one of the main quests, usually like the last kind of quest in that area is tied to that ether current.
Mm-hmm.
And I think most of the other ones are like the side quests then. But the best way to find them one is basically, it's the the quest icon with a wee plus on the side of them.
Yeah.
That basically, that indicates, that's the one with an ether.
Took me a while to figure that out.
Yeah, but that's very helpful then. But that's when I was doing like the post Heaven's Word content. Then it was so useful then to get them. So okay, I could just fly through this area now and get to this area rather than having to, slog on foot though. That just helped.
Yeah.
To get through those quests.
Next time I get locked out from the story progression because I need to level up more, I'm gonna try to unlock the flying on another area, I guess. Because I'm tending to get that a lot. I get to a certain point where I have to level up more in order to continue the story, and then I have to exhaust all of the quests in an area before I can move on, which is a little annoying.
Yeah, that's what I used to actually do though. I used to sort of, go and do like all the side quests and that there. Then I find out a whole about the thing. Oh, you can get a lot of experience by doing PvP, and I was like, okay. But I think they changed it since then. No, whereas before the change, it's like, I'll do PvP, and I done a match. Even though I lost, I got like 750,000 XP. I was like,
wow,
okay,
that's nice.
Didn't take long to start. It didn't take long to start, but I think they changed it there. I think you get less XP now when you lose as before. Because I think that they changed it though. But there's I think it's no matter what if you won or lost, I think you got like a lot of XP. But I think you get, I don't know what it is now. Like I haven't done it since then.
That's crazy.
So
I haven't touched PvP yet, but that sounds pretty enticing.
I did it once, like a while back. I did one of the, it was like 4v4 ones now, or I think it was, like this was a long time ago.
It's
now.
like an arena?
But then, yeah, it was like an arena thing, so it was. And then I found, then one of the FC members said about it though, like, it's a good way to level up. And I tried it out, and it was this mode called Shatter, which is, this thing you have to go around and sort of capture these points and like destroy these little aetheryte crystals like light up, and then you like the more damage you do to it rather than like the opposition, then you get more points in that there and stuff like that though. And I usually lose.
So it's more of an objective based thing instead of just deathmatch, right?
Yeah, because that was the one that they said to do, because you got into a match pretty easily, because it's like three teams of 24, so it is, and like it's you be part of your class, so you be part of the Grand Company you join. So I'm the Serpent, the Twin Adders. So yeah, so I was the Grand Company I joined. So whatever Grand Company you join, you be part of that Grand Company when you do the PvP.
Oh, okay, that's where the Grand Company comes in. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like wherever you're the Maelstrom or like the Immortal Flames now, or whatever. But yeah, I don't know what it is now. But like I said, when I started there, it was like 3/4 of a million. It's like, yeah, this is great though. It helped me a bunch. And then like I did like, and I never did the actual the duty roulettes either. By leveling up, and I found out, oh, actually by doing them, I get a lot of XP as well. Like sometimes I actually got like 1 million XP just like by doing like an old dungeon.
Yeah, they seem to have upped the amount of experience for doing the dungeons repeatedly. At least the times that I did, it helped me get to the next level and continue the story too.
Yeah, and then I say I don't really need to do these side quests anymore because and then I just got to the point where I only did the side quests where it would give you equipment for a reward.
Yeah.
Like say it gives you like a leg armor or something for your class or something. Okay, I'll do it.
Because most of them are pretty mindless, pretty mindless. You have to go around and fetch stuff and kill.
Yeah, fetch just standard MMO stuff like fetch quests or kill X number of enemies or whatnot.
There was only one that was worthwhile, the story that the one under the water on the bubble village where you had to help out the princess from the dungeon that you just did, the princess that was taken over by the enemy force or whatever. And then if
the Shinstri of because that's the that's the don't act. Yes, that's one of the only dungeon in the game.
Yeah.
Or during that time that you don't access through the main story, that's a side dungeon.
Yeah, that was a pretty good storyline for side content. But besides that, everything is so busy work, so mindless. That's the part that I don't like about this one.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna try to do what you're selling to tell me you just said to do the PvP. I'm gonna give that a shot and see what happens because man, the side stuff is tiring.
Yeah, it's kind of tedious stuff now. Like that's what I did. That's why it took me like a week or two maybe just to level up the sandy because I did all that stuff then, and because I pretty much played it non-stop. Like I got the early access, so I started the Friday before it came out now, and I said it took me about 2 weeks I think to level up to 70.
Because I usually try to save those side quests so I can level a second class or a third class, but this time I'm having to do almost all of them every couple of areas, which is insane. I never had to do that before. Which is kind of weird because I don't remember doing that on Heaven's Sword for sure.
Yeah, I actually did that as well for Heaven's Sword, but then I got to a point where I was like just too many side quests, and I was okay. I want to get the story. I want to get the story going along then. And like I was kind of a bit ahead anyway, so I didn't really need.
Oh, that's
to do
good.
them.
Yeah. The problem is that the quest turns red, and I'm not able to do it until I level up again. So, and sometimes there's a whole bar that I have to finish. Because from one level to the other, I barely leveled up, and then I had to level up again, which terrible.
Well, that's right. The next quest is level 67. Then
I don't know. I haven't gone to check, but maybe that's probably the case.
If you're level 66, it's probably level 69. I think that next quest or the quest after. You're very close though to doing the next primal trial though.
That should get me a lot of XP, I guess.
Yeah, it's a good trial. I really like the theme it's played during.
Oh, cool! Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. What else now? I don't know what else to talk about though. Kind of talked about a lot already.
Yeah.
What have you been some of your favorite dungeons and that there to do? Do you know does any dungeons or bosses come to mind now?
Oh boy, I remember liking the dungeon where you had to go to the fortress, the same fortress twice. The ice fortress in the original content. I don't think it's even Heaven's Sword. It's before. Which is a nice fortress where you had to go once and fight a dragon in it, and then a few levels later you had to go back and do the same dungeon, but when it was taken over by the enemies or whatever. I don't remember the name of the dungeon. I'm terrible with names. But that one's pretty cool.
Don't recall
that I had to use the cannons to fight the boss.
Oh yeah, that's the. Oh yeah, the first time you did, you fight. You fight the dragon and you fight with the cannons.
Yeah, that was just pretty neat. I don't remember the name.
That's oh jeez. I just did that dungeon not too long ago. Just the fucking name escapes me now, so it does.
And the ones with the thornberries are fun too. The
Wanderer's plants
in the sewers. Yeah, that's pretty cool too. I did that a lot. I feel the primals are pretty fun too.
Yeah, like going back to some of those earlier dungeons, they're just kind of very they're just very boring now compared to some of the later ones.
No, the new ones are pretty good too. The one where you go into the mansion and fight the princess, the fake princess, and then you have to
the
one that I mentioned. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, this shows the shishi of the Failing Tide.
Yeah, those are pretty good, well thought out and pretty quick dungeons. You know, you finish in like 20 minutes. That's the sort of stuff that I like.
Yeah, like I definitely like the dungeons in Stormblood though. Like the final dungeon in the main storyline's pretty good though as well, and like the final actual fight, the final boss fight is pretty good as well. It's quite good as well.
Yeah, the final fight for Heaven's Sword was pretty cool too. You go head to head against Nidhogg, which is pretty cool.
The fight those fights, that the final fight against Thordan is probably is actually one of my favorite fights in the entire game. It's just because it's just so like ridiculously epic, and is the Heaven's Ward team just basically coming, like helping them defeat and all that. There's pretty cool, just so just over the top.
It's so big. It's a huge dragon. You have to fight. You just next to his fingers, and his toes and stuff. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah. They know.
I have good memories for playing that already.
Yeah, and you've done all the raids now. You've done like did you do all the coil content?
I think I did most of them. I ran out of steam. When I was next to the end, but I remember doing as many as possible that I did, because the raid people in the guild were doing it, so I was just going all along for the ride. They knew everything, but they told me to watch the videos on YouTube and learn out. But I remember having a good time, doing the mechanics. There was really involved fights. I had to stand here and do this and kite the enemies, the mobs around. It was pretty fun. I remember having a good time.
Yeah. The only I remember doing the 5th turn of the Binding Coil, back in the day. Like originally, this is like not too long after the game came out, and just got whooped. But then when you go back to it and have your class do the party unsynced, those fights pretty much become a joke because you're just so overpowered. Then.
Oh, you did unsynced. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I've done a few of them on sync now. Some of that, like I've only ever done most of the first, 5, and then I've done the second one of the first turn 6, or first one of the second coil turns. But I've never done it. I haven't done any since then. But I've done all the Alexander ones.
Yeah, I did only a little bit of those, only a few.
I never done any of the Savage ones of them now,
neither.
so I haven't. I just think there's no point though, because by the time by grinding and getting the stuff anyway, because most of it's going to be pretty obsolete anyway. Because I was doing that stuff sort of kind of, a couple of weeks before Stormblood was coming out anyway. And then I did I've done the first Omega one at the moment. I've done a big bunch of times now, and they're good fights as well. So
that's cool. I'm looking forward to doing that. I miss doing the big fights. Those are really fun.
Yeah, they're very good fights. So they consist of Final Fantasy V bosses. So they do. Have you ever played Final Fantasy V?
Oh no, I need to play that. I got that in Japan. I bought a bunch of Final Fantasy games for 100 yen over there. So it was like $1 each. I got Final Fantasy 4, 5, and 6 for $1 each. And I got
that's
Go ahead.
And that's the great thing about Japan. Though, there's some of the games are just so damn cheap over there.
Yeah, they don't care about RPGs as much as the other side of the world. So you can get most of the RPGs for cheap, except Mother 3 and the Mother games, which are kind of expensive there. But I like expensive, like $20, like 2,000 yen, which is not that expensive if you think about how much the American or the European copies of those games cost. So I just went ahead and got those cards, and then I got a Retro Freak so I can put the card in it and put the translation if I need, so I can play in English.
Oh, cool. That's pretty cool, though.
So I'm planning on playing Final Fantasy V and 6 and 4 legally because I actually have the cards, so I'm doing that.
Yeah, I've got those games though, but I have like the probably the people say the bad PS1.
Oh, I have that. Yeah,
like
I have
the loading times. And
the
stuff
Anthology,
like that.
Final Fantasy Anthology. I have that too.
Yeah,
that's pretty bad.
I've got that. Yeah.
I got my copy of that is actually signed by Yoshitaka Amano, the guy who does the art for the covers.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he came around in 2012 and I got him to sign the cover for that, even though it's a bad copy of the game. A bad version of the game.
Yeah, I really like that art actually. His art it's very lovely.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to playing that. And you said that those bosses are tied to Final Fantasy V in Omega?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think because I remember I know one of them now. Like the final boss you fight in that like V4, they're like V1, V2, V3, V4. The final one I knew was a boss in Final Fantasy V, but I actually didn't recognize any of the other ones. But then I think I heard someone say, "Oh, it's the final four bosses," or Final Four bosses in Final Fantasy V. So okay.
Because there's a lot of stuff from old Final Fantasy games in 14, right? There's the magic armors, magic tech armors from 6.
Yeah, the magic tech armor 6. The final boss in the World of Darkness is the final boss in Final Fantasy 3. Yeah. The Cloud of Darkness. There was another one I like. A bit of a spoiler though. It's
oh, go ahead. No, it's okay. I don't care.
No, it's okay. It's the final dungeon in Stormblood. The first boss in it is the first boss in Final Fantasy VII. The Magic Tech Scorpion.
No kidding. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, and one of the bosses as well in there's like two post story dungeons. There's Temple of the Fist and Kugane Castle, and the final boss in Kugane Castle is Yojimbo from Final Fantasy X.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I remember that.
So it's pretty cool as well.
And they have Gilgamesh as well, so that you can fight against. And
yes, that's right. Yes, yeah, that's right.
And I think you missed the event that they had for Final Fantasy 13, where you could get the outfits for Lightning and Snow.
Yeah,
I did that. It was fun too, and then there was some Dragon Quest content as well, where you had to fight the golems. You didn't do that, right?
No, I know there's one. I know I seen one as well. I think it was like the Final Fantasy VII content as well, because I seen a character like Cloud. He had the Cloud stuff as well. I know they had tie with Yokai Watch.
Yeah, I guess. Well. Yeah, they had an event. Yeah, the seasonal event.
Yeah, they had that. Yeah, that event.
Or didn't bother doing that.
Yeah, I did a bit of it though. I just did like the quests out there, but never did go around and do the collect them, whatever it was.
And you can dress your Chocobo as the character from Final Fantasy 1, the one from the cover, with the. Once you subscribe, I think 300 days or 360 days, you can get the outfit for your Chocobo for your.
The Warrior of Light. Yeah, I've actually got that equipped now. So
that's pretty cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember what else they have. Because the best part about 11 that I can mention, I guess I never played it. It's because it took place in the same world as 12, right? Ivalice?
No, that's Vanadale's 11.
Oh, so it's not the same place as Final Fantasy 12? Well, I think
no. Final Fantasy 12's Ivalice.
Oh, okay.
Which is actually tied to
Tactics, right?
No, yeah, that's tactics, but it's also tied to the raid storyline that's coming. It's called Return to Evilise.
Oh, that looks cool.
So so like the content from the new raid stuff, the 24 player raids, is going to be probably something tied with Evilise,
Oh
which
man, I'm gonna love that because I love Final Fantasy
so
12. I'm not even saying that because of the new version, but ever since I played the 12, it's like my favorite Final Fantasy. That and 9. I wish they put more 9
uh
stuff in as well.
I agree,
Ugh.
definitely agree. That's why I named my Chocobo Phoebe, because Phoebe's like my favorite Final Fantasy
Yeah,
character.
though that game is fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need to play more together and hang out and try to level up our secondary jobs whenever you feel like it. I'm gonna be
Yeah, like
done
I
soon, I guess, with the expansion, so hopefully you can do that.
yeah, like I've pretty much been playing the game pretty much nearly every day for the past like month now
Hmm.
anyway. Like I've gone online and played it for maybe a couple of hours and leveling up my character, or trying to beat the extreme trials, or trying to just grind and try to get some of the higher
Hmm.
gear now.
Hmm.
That's pretty much what I've been doing for the past lack of weeks now, since I've finished like the main story now and that there. And I don't know when the next content update is now, like what the next big one is now, like when 4.1 hits, whenever that may
Yeah, I
be.
haven't been
So
keeping track at all, so I don't have any idea. But I might sign up again today and resubscribe and pick up where I left off and keep going and see where I can get to and when I can finish that and we can get together and play that for sure.
yeah, like I say, you're pretty close to the Lakshmi trial.
Hmm.
So if you do resubscribe or today or soon enough, then just hit me up and I'll help you
Oh,
out.
cool. Yeah, I might do that today later. I'm trying to finish a review that I'm doing, and I have to play the game, and I think that I have like a couple of hours left to play that and put my thoughts into words. Then I can join you and play
What's the
that.
game?
It's called Redeemer, which is an overhead. Well, I can't talk about it because the embargo just lifted today. It's an overhead brawler game where you're playing as an ex-merc turned monk, Buddhist monk. So you just punch and kick the crap out of people. It's a lot of fun. It's called Redeemer.
Is that the one I'm thinking of
It's
now?
from Gabish's
Or
Entertainment. It's an indie game.
right,
It
I don't know
it
that.
really reminded me of the old PS1 game Loaded. It
Right.
reminded me,
Oh,
right? Yeah,
right. Loaded.
yeah,
Oh no, this must be a different game I must be thinking of then. Okay, yeah, that's right. Loaded. Yeah, definitely. Actually, remember playing that in the Sega Saturn.
yeah, yeah. It reminded me of that right away. And actually playing it is a little bit different because you have to do combos and stuff. But the overall style, it reminded me a lot of Loaded. But it's pretty fun. Yeah, I'm gonna finish that and write about it, and then maybe I can jump back and resub and get back to the saddle and ride my chocobo to whatever else I need to do in Final Fantasy.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to talk about before we wrap things up?
No, I was gonna ask you which Final Fantasy games you finished, but it sounds like you finished most of them, right?
No.
No?
The only ones I've ever finished are seven. Well, seven was a bit of an asterisk, because there's like, well, one of the things. Seven, I got to the very last boss in the game on the PC version, the original PC version that came
Mhm.
out in '98,
Mhm.
but never beat it though. Then I got the PS1 version, and you remember those old like Action Replay Explorer kind of
Yeah.
cheat cartridges thing you plug in the back?
Yeah.
Well, I used it to basically make my character like invincible and stuff like that, and cheated my way through it though, so that's why it's an asterisk. But I pretty much seen the entire game anyway. I finished 9. I've got pretty much got to the end of 10
Mhm.
as well. I finished 13 and 13 too. Well, I finished 14, like the MMO, the main story
As much
stuff,
as you
and I
can
finished
finish an
15.
MMO, right?
Yeah, well, I felt like this main story stuff I finished up to this point anyway, and I've finished 15. They're the only ones I've ever finished.
Yeah, I have to play 15. I've been hearing good things about it. I bought the Japanese copy in Japan, so I need to play that. It has English subtitles, everything in English, so it should be work fine. But yeah, I'm basically on the same boat as you. I finished Final Fantasy 1 on the GBA, that one that had the 2 games on it.
Oh, Dawn of Souls, yeah.
Yeah, and I finished 7, 8, 9, 10, and 12. 13 I haven't. I got to Grand Pulse, the big open world place.
Oh, the open world.
That's where I stopped playing. I stopped playing there. It was so boring. But I'll go back to it and finish it and finish X2, X12. Wait, no, not X2. 13 too.
13
yeah,
too.
X2 I also need to finish, but but yeah.
13-2 is actually one of those ones. I'm in the minority where I find it better than 13. I just like the story better.
I heard good things about the third one,
well.
the 13-3. I heard good things about it. People swear by it.
I actually heard the opposite.
Really? Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well,
I got it though, but I never played much of it. I only played maybe an hour or two of it at most.
Yeah, at 13, I like the characters, but I like what's the name of the guy who has the chocobo on his afro? Saz, yeah, I like him. But that's about it, you know. The characters are that game is weird. All this convoluted story, and but yeah, the other ones I had a great time. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're all right. That's the thing. I didn't actually think the story in 13 was that great though. But some people, you know, go on about it. It's like, oh, this is one of the best stories ever. Like they die better or whatever. And I was like, no, it never got going. No. Like it took too long to get going, and it was like 20-25 hours before something interesting in that game happened.
No.
And the only reason why I kept playing is because I liked the battle system, even though it was pretty automated for the most part. But I liked that system, like the, you know, switching between the different styles and that there. And you know, I liked the world, even though it was linear as hell before you got to like Grand Pulse. And I liked 13-2 more because it has the whole time travel aspect. You go to different, you know, time zones and that there. And 13-3/Lightning Returns is I'm one of those guys who's not a big fan of, you know, when you're on a time limit pretty much. And that's kind of one of those games like you only have a set number of time to do certain quests.
Oh,
like
that's bad.
72 hours. That's why I'm not a big fan of, you know, Majora's Mask and those kind of games now, or like, you know, with original Pikmin as well. Like I finished Majora's Mask once, but I never, you know, played it again though, because I didn't like the whole, you know, 72-hour aspect of it though. Like I know you go reverse time, go back to the first day and stuff like that, but that's the thing. Like you're kind of like on a time limit though, so you can't do anything. And same way, you know, like Dead Rising and things like that as well, where you're on a bit of a time limit.
Oh, I tend to be the opposite. Not because I like time limits, but I like those games a lot. But I know what you mean, you know. I think those games are built so you learn the routines, and then you get it. Once you know the routines and learn what the order you should be doing, then you can just go through and tear through the game. But I know what you mean. Having a limit right off the gates is like it's really annoying. You know you're gonna fail before you succeed. I get you. I get what you mean.
Yeah, indeed. That's pretty much it then. I think we've talked. We're all out of talk for Final Fantasy 14. I personally love it. Like I said, you said it's Jeff as well. It's both our favorite MMOs of all time.
Yeah, maybe we should grab Derek after he plays it more, and we can talk to him and see what he thinks about it.
Yeah, like hopefully, like I probably would have actually asked him on though if he was around, but he's working at the moment. But maybe in a future episode of the United Gamedom podcast, or if he wants to come jump on and get his thoughts.
Yeah, I'll be happy to join up for that. You guys been asking for a while, but we can never get the schedules together and work out.
Yeah. Blasted time zones.
Yeah, I hate those. But you seem to be online all the time, so it's kind of because you're like 4 hours ahead of me, right? It's what time is it there? 8 o'clock right now.
It's 8 o'clock, yeah. So you're 4
Yeah.
o'clock then, aren't you? Yeah. It's just weird. Like, yeah, you're 4 hours behind. Dennis is 5 hours behind. Derek's 6 hours behind. So
Yeah, soon it's gonna be even worse because I'm gonna get the time savings. It's gonna be a little bit.
that's gonna end.
Yeah. ugh, I
Yeah.
hate that.
Well, that works, yeah. So I think it'll be going back.
I'm not sure. I'm always
Yeah.
confused.
I always know the way to remember it is spring forward, fall back.
Oh, okay.
That's the way I do.
But that's a problem because I'm on the other hemisphere, so it's the opposite. It's
Yeah.
terrible. But yeah, whenever you guys need me, let me know and I'll do my best to be around and we can get something going. I'd love to talk with Dennis again. It's been a while.
Yeah, whatever you're free of, wherever we can get like our times just match up perfectly, then you're welcome to join us on a normal episode.
Cool. Thank you.
Right, no worries. Well, thank you very much, Eduardo, for joining me in this special edition of the United Gamedom podcast, talking about Final Fantasy XIV and other things, I guess, at the end there. Well, yeah, another episode of the United Gamedom podcast will probably happen sometime in the future. Like, if say we just had a new episode up there now, normal episode with me and Dennis talking about Switch stuff. Dennis got a Switch. If you want to,
I can't believe it. I can't believe he got a Switch. I'm shocked.
Yes, that's the thing. Yes, is what kind of reality are we in? Where Dennis, if pretty much he tends to bash about Nintendo quite a bit.
Yeah.
Bought a Nintendo console.
And he's playing Splatoon and having a good time.
Yes. Indeed. And he's playing a Zelda
Gee.
game. And the only Zelda game he's played since before that was the original.
What did they
back in 86.
What did they do with the Dennis we know? That's not the Dennis we know.
No, he's replaced by a clone or something.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
Yeah. But yeah, if you want to listen to his thoughts about the Switch and other things, be sure to check out that latest episode of the United Gamedom podcast. So anyway, this has been Darren, and that's been Eduardo.
Bye-bye.
So thank you very much for listening, and take care and see you all again soon.
Take care.
Goodbye.
Cheers.